Hi, this is Chere Sutton, Apple's Chief Compliance Officer, and I wanted to go over some changes we have made in recent years. A little bit of information on Apple. We are the leader of cutting-edge technology, offering a wide variety of consumer electronic products and accessories, professional software applications, and services. We gross over $233 billion in 2015 alone. We also employ over 66,000 employees in the U.S. alone. Our suppliers are important to us because they employ more than 1.6 million people in over 20 countries. But with those people, we have a responsibility to treat those people with respect while providing safe working conditions and fair employment practices throughout our supply chain. But before I get into our code of conduct, I'd like to share some of our past controversies and give you an idea of why we want to go over our policies. Apple has created a brand that everyone trusts, and we would like to keep that relationship with our consumers. So when they think of Apple, that they will think of a company and a brand that displays great ethics and social responsibilities, as well as great products and services. It takes teamwork to accomplish all of these things, so we must always work together to do what is right for our consumers, our employees, and our environment as well. I want to talk briefly about some of the controversies that Apple has been involved with over the last few years. In 2010, 14 workers at Foxconn committed suicide due to the working conditions they endured. The suppliers then installed safety nets to prevent further suicides. Another controversy that deals with another former supplier of Apple is that they had 74 children under the age of 16 working on their production lines. Violations like this require us at Apple to go over our code of conduct to make sure we don't repeat past mistakes within our supply chain. Our commitment at Apple is setting and meeting high standards by offering quality products, and our suppliers are held to those same standards. So let's talk about how Apple likes to employ our workers. We want our workers to be well prepared when working in factories where our products are made. So we have implemented programs to empower them and even to help them to branch off into new careers. We will provide on-the-job training that includes having knowledge of their rights and understanding the laws and regulation and Apple's code of conduct. We have also developed programs called the Supplier Employee Education and Development. That would help employees learn new skill sets that would help them branch off and explore new opportunities, and also to enhance their career if that's what they choose to do. The next topic I'd like to talk about is going to be labor and human rights, as we firmly believe every worker and every human being should be treated with dignity and respect. This means that no supplier would discriminate against any worker due to age, race, religion, disability, or any other status protected by the law. Suppliers would also not harass or abuse workers and would not threaten them verbally or psychologically. We also do not support or tolerate child labor in any of our supply chains at all. Children who are younger than 15 or the legal minimum age would not work for any of our suppliers. Also, with our legal workers, their wages must be at least the minimum legal wage, and they would not work more than 60 hours a week. This includes overtime. A regular work week would not exceed 48 hours, and every worker would take at least one day off every 7-day period. Now I want to talk about health and safety, which is always a major concern. Suppliers will ensure the well-being of their employees are met. This includes providing safe working conditions while integrating safety management practices into their everyday business practices. If safe conditions are not provided, then workers do have a right to report these conditions. Suppliers will also provide adequate protective equipment for workers and instructions on how to use them properly. Suppliers will also plan and be prepared for emergencies to minimize the damage or harm to environment or their equipment. To those employers who provide dormitories to their employees, they will ensure that they have adequate amount of living space and that the dorms will be clean and safe at all times. Our next big topic is the environment. and what we can do to reduce the harmful impact on it. One of Apple's main goals is to improve our operations and have a greener company. While we have made great strides in this area as far as the waste we put into the environment, we also expect our suppliers and their subsidiaries to follow the same guidelines. This means our suppliers will reduce, recycle, and responsibly dispose of hazardous waste and materials. They are also required to reduce their energy and natural resources that they use. Their emissions will be monitored and controlled to prevent environmental pollution. In conclusion, I want to discuss accountability. The standards of our code of conduct are set very high, with standards being one of the strictest in the industry. We must not let this discourage our suppliers. We do hold our suppliers, as well as ourselves, responsible for compliance. We commit to working with you and helping with you and meet those standards that may have been violated during the audit. When we audit you, it's not to cause shame or to show you your weakness, it's to strengthen you. Our audits are used as a training tool to get our suppliers back on the right track. This means that once an issue is discovered, there is an action plan created by you to address these issues. We will also work with you to address these issues and verify that the improvements have been made. We have made a few changes in the last couple of years regarding our code of conduct to help increase compliance with our suppliers. In 2012, we added more detailed and specialized audits to address the safety and environmental concerns. Since these changes were made, we observed a reduction in violations. Out of 640 audits we conducted towards emissions, only 6 violations were found. In regards to wastewater, we only found 2. So as you can see, we have made great strides and we are definitely moving in the right direction. Another change is we allowed the Fair Labor Association to conduct their independent audits in 5% of our suppliers to ensure that we are complying with the Workplace Code of Conduct. Another change is we are increased the number of scheduled and surprise audits since they were first introduced in 2007. In conclusion, I hope this video has explained our code of conduct in a way that's easy to understand, and also to explain why this is a major concern for Apple, not only within our company, but within our supply chain.